Wylie, we're heading in the Cuneo Estate now. Beautiful view. There's the beautiful museum. Looking forward to the play very shortly. And the stage is set.
The video man over here.
Wylie and the Hairyman by Jack Stokes. The mammy is Bobbi Hauser and the chorus is Veronica.
To the outdoor children's theater production of Wylie and the Hairyman. Hairyman. Good. Okay, we got a couple of folks that know it. Good. Very good. Well, for those of you who don't know about it, it's a story that comes actually from the swamps of Alabama. And it said, it's an old legend that talks about a conjurer man. Now, do you know what a conjurer is? Anybody know what a conjurer is? I've heard that before. Well, the term conjurer is sort of like a magician. And this conjurer man, this hairy man, can turn himself into different things. He can turn himself into objects of different kinds. He can also say that the hairy man lurks in the swamps and in and around the trees, and he likes to play tricks on people. Well, you're going to meet that hairy man, but you're also going to meet a young fellow by the name of Wylie, whose mother, whom they call Mammy, is a conjurer woman. But she's the good kind. She's the kind who only plays good tricks on people. Okay? And she's going to help Wylie try to figure out a way how to outsmart the hairy man. So be on the lookout because he's somewhere lurking in these trees. We haven't seen him for a while, so we hope that he shows up. So if you see him, make sure you point that direction when you see him coming. Okay? Now, after the show, we're going to have some time to do some question and answers. So if you have any questions about the story or about the play, about the actors, anything that you see, and you want to ask some questions, the actors will be happy to answer the questions for you. And if you want to get your picture taken with them, you can do that too, especially the hairy man, although he's kind of hairy. But you'll enjoy getting your picture taken with him probably. And then we're going to ask the kids to come up on stage and play some drama games with us. Use their imagination and see what objects they can create with their bodies, okay? So we got a full fun hour for you. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy Wylie and the Hairy Man.
All right, who's ready for a good play? Yeah? Well, today we're going to need your special help because our play takes place in the swampland. And in our swampland, we have lots of crickets. So we're going to need your help to make the sound effects for our play. So, to make the cricket sounds, all you have to do is cluck your tongues like this. Good job! So when you hear me say, and a cricket call, I'm going to put my two thumbs up like this, and you guys are going to make your cricket sounds. So let's give it a try. Ready? And a cricket call. Great job. Now, when you guys see me go like this, that's your sign to stop the cricket noises. And you got to stop right away so you don't miss anything that's going on next. Let's try it all together. Okay. And a cricket call. Great. Good job. Good job. I think we're ready. Are y'all ready? Yeah. Yeah? A little louder. Are you ready? Yeah. All right. Now, this here the story of the hairy man. How Wylie and his mammy made that hairy man stomp, 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 and rage, and gnash his teeth. Gnash his teeth. Poor Wylie's pappy had fallen in the hands of the hairy man. A dancer and a dreamer, Wylie's pappy was he, and he fell into the hands of the hairy man. Hairy man. Into the hairy, scary hands of the hairy man. Hairy man. So Wylie's mammy said to Wylie, Wylie, said she, Wylie.
Yes, ma'am.
Wylie,
Yes, ma'am.
he done got your pappy. careful.
or he gonna get me. Yes'm.
So Wylie, wherever he went, he took his dogs. 'Cause the hairy man sure can't stand no dogs. Well, everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that.
But one day Wylie went down to the trees down in the old swamp land.
Cut down a tree for a hen roost, see?
And his hound dog, they went too. 'Cause the hairy man sure can't stand no dogs. Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that.
But Wylie no sooner started to swing when his hound dog took off chasing a rabbit.
It looked like a rabbit chasing a thing that looked like a rabbit. But it weren't a rabbit, 'cause rabbits don't have no tail as a habit.
Anyone knows all that, dag name it?
And they run so further round about dark.
You couldn't even hear those hound dogs bark.
Oh, I don't like the looks of this. 'Cause the hairy man comes and talks like this.
Oh me, oh my.
Said Wylie with a sigh as he blinked his eyes at the look in the sky.
I sure do hope, oh me, oh my, the hairy man ain't nowhere nearby.
'Cause there weren't no sound at all. Except Wylie's breathing and a cricket call.
So he picked up the axe.
Be careful, Wylie! And he started his wax. Oh, look at there, Wylie! And then he looked up, and what did he see coming through the tree? Coming through the tree? He saw the hairy man! The hairy man!
He saw the scary face of the hairy man.
He saw the scary, unmarried,
unordinary face
of the hairy man!
The hairy man!
hair everywhere. Just plumb hairy all over.
Hairy, everywhere he was. Eyes that burn like fire does. Teeth that gleam like teeth in a dream does.
Hairy man,
Said Wylie, scrunching up to a tree.
you go on and get away from me.
But the hairy man, he just kept a coming with a scary kind of humming. A grinning and a spinning and a coming and a humming. Through the trees, leave that axe away, Wylie, and climb that tree. Now the hairy man, he just stood below that big bay tree with eyes that glowed. Well, he was just plumb put out about the whole thing.
Wylie, you hear, man? Wylie, you mighty quick to climb that tree. How come you got that sudden urge? What do you think, hairy man? If you's me and I's you, wouldn't you climb this bay tree too?
The hairy man thought about this for a while.
I reckon I
He
would,
said with a smile.
'cause I'm about the scariest and also the hairiest hairy man around for more than a mile.
The hairy man always brags a lot, trying to be a lot he's not. But that's the hairy man's hairy style.
You go on and leave me alone, hairy man. Ha!
Now the hairy man, he picked up Wylie's axe and give that bay tree 4 or 5 mighty whacks. And Wylie, who was smart and conjure spells, rubbed his belly against that tree and started to yell.
Chip's ass chop, don't fall to the ground. Fly yourself around and around.
Around and back to the tree.
From whence you come, full mammy and me.
For Mammy and me,
The chips flew back to whence they come.
And making a face and cussing sound, the hairy man swung. Chip, chop, and the old axe rung. Clip, clop, and Wylie started hollering fast, trying to make that bay tree last. And all afternoon, things kept a-hopping, with Wylie hollering and the hairy man chopping.
Chip's ass chop, don't fall to the ground.
Chip, chop, clip, clop,
Fly yourself around and around.
clip, clop, chip, chop,
Around and back to the tree from whence you come, full mammy and me.
clip, chop,
Full mammy and me.
clip, clop.
Full mammy and me.
About sundown,
Tired of sweating and cussing.
the hairy man heard them hound dogs fussing away in the distance.
But coming near track with them hell behind him. Jumping his rear.
Run, Hairyman, run, Hairyman. The dogs will eat you up, Hairyman.
When Wylie told his mammy about climbing a tree, she shook her head hard. Wylie, said she.
Wylie?
Yes'm.
Wylie!
Yes'm.
Now when the hairy man starts a coming your way, see? Don't you go again and climb no bay tree.
No, ma'am, I won't. I won't climb any, 'cause bay trees, well, they just plumb too skinny.
Don't you climb no tree no time. You just walk up to the hairy man and say, "Hello, hairy man." Now try it that way.
Hello, Hairyman.
Just say, "Hello, hairy man." Then you do what I tell you.
And she told him. And the next time Wylie went down for some wood, he tied his dogs up with rope real good. Because the hairy man sure don't favor no dogs. Well, everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that.
But Wylie no sooner got to where he was going when something filled the air.
Ribbit. 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 Oh, don't like the sounds of this. 'Cause the hairy man comes at times like this.
Oh, my, oh, me.
That Wylie said he is. He hugged himself up against the trunk of a tree.
I sure do hope, oh, my, oh, me, the Hairyman ain't around, oh, gee.
'Cause there weren't no sound at all, except Wylie's breathing and a cricket call. And then he looked up, and what did he see a-coming through the trees? A-coming through the trees, a-coming through the trees. What did he see a-coming through the trees? He saw the hairy man! The hairy man!
He saw the scary face of the hairy man.
He saw the scary, hairy, unmerry,
Most unordinary face
of the hairy man!
The Hairyman.
Hair everywhere. He was just darn hairy all over.
And Wylie, he was scared. Mighty scared. So scared he pretty nearly. Oh, yes, he pretty nearly nigh forgot what Mammy said. And pretty nearly nigh climbed up a tree instead.
But he didn't.
No, he didn't.
He walked up to that hairy man and said,
Hello, Hairyman. Hello, Wylie. Hairyman?
Yeah, Wylie.
What you got in that gunny sack?
Ain't got nothing yet.
Go,
Said Wylie.
Hairyman.
Yeah, Wylie.
What you were taking that gunny sack off of your shoulder for?
So's I can open it up.
Go,
Said Wylie.
Hairyman.
Yeah, Wylie.
What are you opening that gunny sack for?
So's I can put something in it.
Go,
Said Wylie.
go.
Wylie,
Said the hairy man looking around.
I keep a-hearing a gulping sound.
And the hairy man grinned a grin so wide that two little bugs just up and died.
'Cause nothing makes the hairy man scarier.
Or hairier than knowing he's scaring you out of your hide.
Hairyman,
Yeah, Wylie.
my mammy, she says she's one of the best at casting spells in the whole Southwest.
Huh.
Said the hairy man.
Your mammy sure is a gabby woman.
My mammy, she say you a Gabby Hairyman.
Wylie,
Said the hairy man looking wild.
you gonna mess around and get me riled?
My mammy, she can turn into something she ain't.
Shoot, that ain't nothing.
Said the hairy man.
Well, I reckon you can.
I reckon
Said the hairy man.
I can.
The hairy man twisted.
The hairy man turned. The hairy man breathed with a breath that burned and turned himself into
A giraffe.
I reckon you ain't nowhere near to turn yourself into no alligator.
I reckon I am.
The hairy man twisted.
The hairy man turned. The hairy man breathed with a breath that burned, leaped high in the air and landed on his knees, did a little jiggle through them trees, and turned himself into a
Alligator.
Mommy, she say the hardest thing to do is turn yourself into something smaller than you.
I reckon it is.
I expect you ain't about to turn yourself into something like a possum.
Oh, I reckon I am.
The hairy man took 4 or 5 great big breaths and looked around the woods like 100 deaths. And then... the hairy man twisted, and the hairy man turned, and the hairy man breathed a breath that burned, leaped high in the air and landed on his knees, did a little jiggle through them trees, swore and raved and kicked his own shin, shinnied up a tree and down again, and then, with a whole lot of sweating and fussing,
And some cussing.
turned itself into a
Possum.
and Wylie grabbed it and throwed it in his sack. Oh, Wylie, that's the first time you fooled him.
The first time you fooled the hairy man.
Hairy man. Fool him 2 more times and he'll leave you alone. Alone. So Wylie, he took that sack of possum and flung it in the river.
Possum.
Goodbye, hairy man.
And then he started home through the swamp. Ribbit, 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 ribbit. And then he looked up, and what did he see a-coming through the trees? A-coming through the trees, a-coming through the trees. What did he see a-coming through the trees? He saw the hairy man! The hairy man!
He saw the scary face of the hairy man.
He saw the scary, hairy, unmarried,
most unordinary face
of the hairy man!
The hairy man.
Oh, hair everywhere! He was hairy, right hairy, and mighty scary.
Hairy man, how'd you get out of that sack?
Smart, Wylie. I turned myself into a cyclone and blew myself out.
Oh, hairy man.
And Wylie, I'm gonna sit right here till your belly gets the hungry grumbles, you hear? Just so I can see you fall out of that tree.
And sure enough, Wylie was up that tree again. Hug that tree trunk, Wylie!
Well, hairy man, you pretty good at changing faces, but how good you are at changing places?
What do you mean?
Well, can you take a thing that's really here and make that thing plumb disappear?
That there's my speciality. What? Take that old bird's nest there.
And sure enough, when he looked, it was gone.
But Wylie, he was skeptical.
Now, take a look at your hat.
And sure enough, when he looked, it was gone.
But Wylie, he was skeptical.
Wylie, you're looking mighty skeptical.
Hairy man, I is a mighty skeptical.
Said Wylie.
What I gotta do to make you less skeptical?
Said the hairy man.
Well, you see this rope tied around my pants? I know it's here. Well, I bet you can't make this rope here disappear.
I can make the rope for miles around go away, 'cause this is my county, and what goes, I say.
I is skeptical.
Oh.
Well, the hairy man, he was just plumb put out, because the hairy man, he can't stand no doubt. Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that.
So he hollered so loud that the air turned blue, and a bird on a limb just popped in two, and he yelled,
Rope, rope, wherever you are, go away to I don't know where. Rope, rope, disappear. Get away from here.
I reckon that includes ropes that holds pants up.
I said all ropes.
Wylie grabbed at his pants,
I reckon that includes ropes that dangle buckets and wells.
I said all ropes.
All over the county, buckets fell into wells. Splash.
I reckon that includes ropes that ties dogs up.
Wylie grinned at the hairy man, but the hairy man wasn't grinning.
He was too busy turning green.
Whoops! Yeah, dog! Run, hairy man! Run, hairy man! The dogs lick you up, hairy man!
Wylie, that's the second time you fooled them. The second time you fooled the hairy man.
Hairy man, fool him one more time and he'll leave you alone. Alone. So Wylie run home and Mammy got a chair and set herself down and started to stare. Studying. Then Mammy said to Wylie, Wylie, said she.
Wylie,
Yes'm.
Wylie,
Yes'm.
I'm going to sit right here and study out a way how to fool the hairy man a third time today.
So Wylie took his dogs, tied one at the front door and one at the back, and wished he had two more. Then over the window he crossed a broom, and the handle of an axe went back in the room and made a fire in the fireplace grate. And then he went in and sat in a chair, propped chin in hand, and started to stare, and helped his mammy meditate. Studying, the wheels go round. Studying, without a sound. Then Mammy said to Wylie, Wylie, said she.
Wylie,
Yes'm.
Wylie,
Yes'm.
you go down to the pig pen, see, and bring that sucking pig to me.
And that's what he done. And then...
Now, Wylie, put that pig in that little bed and cover him up from hoof to head.
And that's what he done. And then...
Now, Wylie, you go spend the rest of the night up in the attic, out of sight.
And that's what he done. And then... Oh, man! And then... There weren't no sound. No sound at all. Except Wylie's breathing and a cricket call. And then... The cricket call, it got so loud that what was sound became a cloud. Everything was turned around. Things you saw were turned to sound. In Wylie's world, for just a minute, what was heard had color in it.
And Wylie scrunched against the wall, listening to that cricket call.
Then Wylie looked out of a knothole, and what did he see on the ground? One of his hound dogs standing up, with his legs drawn back and jumping around, and an animal big as a mule. Big as a mule. But it wasn't a mule, because mules don't have no horns as a rule.
Anyone knows that, any old fool.
Saw an animal big as a mule run out of the woods with a look at the house. I know what it is.
Cause a thing that can turn itself into a critter as small as a possum
Can certainly turn itself into one large as a mule.
Yawsome.
I know what it is.
and the dogs jumped and jumped in its mouth.
But they couldn't get loose.
Couldn't get loose.
I know what it is. That an animal bigger than a dog with a snout and great big teeth that stuck way out.
I know what it is.
Run out of the woods with a growl at the house.
Suddenly, the ropes that were holding the hounds went slack. And the dogs loose and jumping and chasing right to the back. An animal that could have been
A possum?
Yawsome. Only it wasn't.
Only it wasn't. I know what it is. Then all at once on the roof he heard something big as a cow. Flapping its wings around like a bird and starting to come down the chimney. But cussing and fussing when it found a fire in the grate. And it jumped to the ground and as big as you please come round to the door where it knocked. Till the whole house rocked.
is come.
Oh, he done got your pappy.
Mammy, I come for your baby, Mammy.
Well,
Said Mammy.
you ain't a-getting him.
I better get him,
Said the hairy man, looking as mean as a hairy man can.
or I'll turn into a spider and I'll bite you.
I'll turn into a fly swatter and I'll snap you.
Ooh, I'll bring the lightning and I'll burn your house.
I'll call the rain, the house to douse.
The hairy man growled a cuss in the air.
Oh, that's some mighty fancy rhyming, Mammy, there. I'll...
Well, that's all he could say. 'Cause for once that day, the hairy man ran out of mean things to say. Think mean and ugly things, hairy man.
I'll make your teeth turn black. I'll make your hair fall out. And I'll make your shape go skinny. And I'll put a big red bump right on the end of your big ugly nose.
Hairy man,
Said Mammy, who forgot what a rat the hairy man was.
you wouldn't do that. That's just plumb underhanded.
Well, I'm a plumb underhanded man. Hairy man.
Oh, well, Mammy said to that hairy man, Hairy man, said she.
Hairy man,
Yes'm.
hairy man,
Yes'm.
if I'll let you have my baby, will you leave us alone, maybe? Huh?
Oh, Mammy, I swear by the hairy man oath, that's just what I'll do.
Oh, the hairy man oath is a terrible oath, and it goes like this.
I swear by my hair.
Terrible, terrible, the hairy man. Oh,
If I don't do what I swear to here, let little crawly things climb in my ear. If I don't do what I say I will, let my eyes pop out and roll down the hill. If I don't do what I say I'll do, let my face turn green and my nose turn blue. If I don't do what I say I'll do, let crows peck my toes. Let a bear eat my hair. Let flies sting my eyes. Let the sun cook me done. And let me get the biggest toothache yet.
Oh. Now there's just one thing. The hairy man oath, it don't mean a thing. All it does is cloud up the sky and kill the grass.
Because everybody knows that the hairy man always crosses his fingers behind his back.
Mammy knows this, and she knows that the only way to make that hairy man go away and not come back another day was to fool him one more time. So, Mammy said to that hairy man, Hairy man, said she.
Hairy man,
Yes'm.
hairy man,
Yes'm.
come on in. He's there in the bed.
The hairy man come in and went to the bed and pulled back the covers.
Hey,
He said, swelling up real big,
there ain't nothing in here but a little old peg.
Well,
said Mammy,
ain't it a baby?
Well,
said the hairy man.
I reckon maybe.
And ain't it mine?
Well, that I ain't denying.
Well, I'm a-giving them to you like I said.
Whoa.
That there's my baby in that bed.
Oh.
Well, the hairy man raged.
The hairy man
The
yelled.
hairy man stopped. The hairy man gnashed his teeth. Gnashed his teeth.
Then he grabbed up the pig and he swore with the roar. He tore out the door, and in the path that he made in his ride through the glade, never growed no trees no more.
Never grow no trees no more. And Wylie, he come down from the attic, and he hugged his old Mammy, and said, Mammy, said he.
Mammy,
Yas'm.
Mammy,
Yas'm.
I reckon that old hairy man won't never be coming around here no more.
And I reckon he never did, because Wylie and his Mammy had fooled that hairy man 3 times.
Woo!
be surprised if you happen to see.
Coming through the trees. Don't be surprised if it happens to see.
The Hairyman!
The hairy scary face of the Hairyman.
The scary, dairy, hairy,
Very hairy.
unmarried.
Most unordinary face.
Of the Hairyman.
The Hairyman. The Hairyman.
Okay, let me introduce everybody to you. This is Gino Gazzardo. Gino is going to be a sophomore this coming year at the University of Southern California, and he's studying film. And this is Veronica Lynn. She's my daughter, and she's also going to be a sophomore at Illinois State University, a theater major. In the summer, he might be the Hairyman, but in the school year, he is a drama and PE teacher at Hawthorne Junior High, Mr. Tom Cook Jr. Annie McKay. Annie just finished her senior year at Barrington High School and will be attending Illinois State as a theater major in the fall. And this is Bobbi Hauser, an actress, a storyteller, and the owner and manager of Concept Hair Design in Libertyville.
And standing at the back is Gary Gunther, our stage manager. And this lady here is Mrs. Patty Lynn, our magnificent director who put this whole thing together.
Okay, now's the fun part where we can take some questions. I know sometimes people have questions after they see a show and don't often get a chance to ask the actors. So please, if you have any questions about the story or about the play or maybe some things about CUNY, I'll try to answer, although I don't know a whole lot about that. But any questions about the show or what you saw? Yeah.
How did they do this so fast? How did they make the kids, like when the Hairyman was, Wylie was up in the tree and they made him look over there. How did they do that stuff?
When Wylie was over on this side, over here?
No, when Wylie's over there and the Hairyman come over here and the kids all looked over there.
Oh,
And then the Wylie took off his belt.
oh, when he lost the rope. Did you
Yeah,
notice
magic.
that? That was our magic trick. Did you notice
I made that rope go away. What are you talking about, Wylie taking it off?
I saw it.
It was magic. I made it disappear.
No, he took it off.
Did you see him take it off? You did? Okay. Well, we tried to make sure that your attention was over here so you wouldn't notice over there. But that was our magic trick that we tried to throw in the show. Any other questions about the play or the story or the actors or anything like that? No?
Yeah, right back there.
Yeah. Where? Oh, yes, right there, yes. No question? You want to filter the question through Mom? Tell Mom your question and she can ask it? We'll come back to you. Okay. Did you have a question? What's your question? Is the Hairyman real? Is he real? Come here, Hairyman. Look at this. Look at this Hairyman over here. His wig is made out of real wig hair and some yarn. Okay, and then he wears fur on his body to make him look hairy. His pants are all
See, but I'm
furry.
not really.
See, but he's really just people. But you weren't scared by him, were you? He wasn't too scared.
No.
Nah, he's just a great big
No.
old teddy bear. Any other questions about the Hairyman story? Yes, sir.
Why did the Hairyman throw the pig?
Why did Wylie throw the pig or the?
Why'd I steal the pig?
Oh.
Well, it was the best I could get.
See, in the story,
See, I thought it was going to be her baby, but she tricked me. And I was so mad, I figured I'd grab that anyway.
see, remember when we talked about at the beginning that that Mammy is a conjure woman and she can trick the Hairyman. So that is her baby pig, but that's not who he was supposed to get, right? He was looking for Wylie, but that's how Wylie actually tricks him. Yes?
He wants to know why you have the ladder.
Why we have the ladder? Well, when we first started working, when we first started working here, they told us that if we wanted to use the trees, we could. But we thought that would be kind of dangerous to actually use the trees. So we thought we would make our own tree, and since he had to climb up it, we thought that probably would be safer to just climb up on a ladder. So we sort of built that as our little tree, our own tree. But it's kind of nice to have the trees all around us, and then the hairy man can kind of go through, in and out, and run around.
We also had to be able, in case it ever rained, move everything quickly into the tent over there. So
Yeah.
we didn't want a lot of big stuff.
The show runs 12 performances, and rain or shine, we do it anyway. And if it rains, we have to move it on over to the tent. So, that's why we chose to have a ladder like that. Okay, yes?
We were wondering if those were the actors and actresses' regular voices or if they changed their voices a little bit.
Were they the regular voices or they changed their voices? Well, how do you guys usually talk?
Like this.
Like that. I mean, no.
Changed a bit.
Yeah, the southern accent.
We had to do a southern
We had to pick that up, yeah.
Yeah, because since this is a story from the old swampland and it's written that way in the script, it's actually, those are the words that, that the playwright uses. We wanted to make it as authentic to the South as we could. So luckily all these fine actors had that ability to use their accent. So we chose that, to use that.
It was also a kind of a difficult show to learn because of the poetry and the rhyme scheme to it. That and the fact that as an actor you're used to talking to another actor and they talk back. You're not used to waiting between lines to have somebody say, he said with a smile, or he said looking mean, or stuff like that. And that made it very difficult to get the timing down.
It's really like a piece of poetry, or in many ways, like a storyteller would tell it. And with the he said, she said, and things like that. So it was an interesting script to run across, and I thought it was a perfect one to do out here on the grounds in this beautiful environment. Well, now's the chance for you guys to come on up, you kids, if you'd like to use your imaginations with us today and make some objects with your body and the help of the actors. So let me invite all the kids on up, although all those who want to come up and participate, don't be shy. Come on, you can come on. So that in the story, some of the actors had to make different objects using their bodies, right? They had to be the trees, and then they showed the cow and the different animals and things like that. So what I'd like to do is I'd like you to work with...
Beware of the Hairyman.
Oh, how about like this, guys? How about like that? Can you do that? Okay. All right, we're ready.
I know. Yes.
Okay. We're ready.
Got another person here?
You gonna be?
Yeah. What are you going to be? What do you want to be? A car?
No, I'm a car.
Oh, you're the car?
I'm a viper.
Oh, yeah?
Have a lid in your hand, and I'll open the lid and throw something in there,
And
okay?
then Gavin's going to pretend you're a garbage can.
Okay, can you put your hand on your head?
Gavin's going to go. You want to be a swing?
Hey, Mammy, this guy wants to meet you. Mammy, didn't you?
I love your hair.
You're good with kids.
Did we let it you?
Trampoline.
Okay, ready? Finally.
Look, it does. When I did.
Run!
Oh, I forgot, it's broken. Broken! Oh. I better do my chores first.
Okay, well, what room of the house could they be? What room do you think?
Bicycle.
Bicycle?
All righty.
You a bicycle?
No, I'm sure.
And this is the be very hard because it was his idea. But I went in there to get a pump, but it's broken.
Refrigerator, oh, good, okay. And she was?
I had to do my chores. What?
A vacuum cleaner, maybe?
Lawnmower.
A lawnmower?
Outside, yes, lawnmower.
Lawnmower, okay, good. And he was?
In the door. Get in.
A car, maybe?
A car, all right, the
He's a
garage.
viper.
Oh, the Viper. All right, let's hear it for those actors. Good imagination, guys. Good job. Okay, and
Bryce, did you have fun?
Okay, now it's time to celebrate this
Matching
wonderful
socks. Find them. Wait,
play
Marissa, wait.
experience.
You can eat outside, Marissa.
Mom's been working hard
Wait, let me.
all day, even as she was acting. Nice job, Mom.
Oh, there's a bone. Gotta watch out for the bone.
We're very proud of our moms. Another masterpiece.
don't run.